I'm not gonna lie, I was terrible at talking to my crushes. I don't know why. I was just really bad at talking with girls in general, honestly. So I never really talked to a lot of girls growing up, honestly. Because like with me, I don't know if this is for anybody else, but for me personally, it was like 1 second like before I go off talking to her, then it's like I know exactly what I'm gonna say, I know exactly how I'm gonna act. And then it's like the second I like walk up to her and try to be and try to say something to her, I just freeze up. I just freeze. Like I don't know why. Like I literally just sitting there, like my brain's gone blank. Like I don't know what the heck I'm playing. I don't even like my voice cracks even when I just say hello, and then like that's it. Have any of you had that experience where it's like 1 second, like you know exactly what you're gonna say to your crush, and then it's like the second you approach her, then it's like you don't know anything. Like literally, like I remember every time I talk to my crushes, every single time, like my mind just goes blank, and then it's like I just say hello. My voice cracks when I say hello. And then it's like from there, then it's like, what else should I say? And mind you that I was never friends with any of my crushes growing up. So it was like, that made it even harder to try to talk to them because it's like, I don't know them. They don't know me. So like, how should I keep the conversation going from here? Because literally the only thing I can say is hello. And even when that's the only thing that I can come up with, my voice cracks. So it's like, it makes it awkward straight from there. And the thing is, I had so many crushes growing up. Like, I remember back in kindergarten, I had 2 crushes. Middle school, I never had a crush on any of the girls there. Well, except for one, kind of. But at the same time, it was like, after a year, she started growing into an attitude and personality that I didn't like, so I stopped liking her after that. So other than her, I never really had any crush on anybody in middle school, so I had to go through 3 years of that. And then in high school, I can't even count how many crushes I had. I had a crush on basically every girl I saw there. Never approached like half of them, but I'm like, others I tried to talk to, but I don't know, it didn't work out. Like I remember I had a crush on this Indian girl that I took Spanish class with during my freshman year. And then it's like I remember like the second semester of my freshman year that I always sat next to her, and it was like the second I heard the seating chart, and then she was sitting right next to me, and then the second time she was behind me, and then the third time she was put back next to me. I was so happy the second I heard her name being called, like to be sitting next to me. Like I'm not even lying, I was really excited. And basically during that assignment, we were supposed to be talking to each other in Spanish, making a conversation. The thing is, she wasn't as good as me in Spanish, so I kind of had to correct her on a few things. We were laughing a few times, making a few jokes. It was really enjoyable. And then it's like, I think after that, I was more comfortable with talking to her every now and then. We weren't having like full-on conversations or anything. It was mostly just small talk and stuff, talking about our lives, what we're doing, what we plan on doing on the weekends and stuff, mostly stuff like that. Other than that though, I remember later on, like, I didn't like talk to her a lot during my freshman year, but I know during my sophomore year, I actually asked for her phone number and everything. She actually gave it to me. We talked about talking over the weekends, and from there we didn't talk anymore. I don't know what happened. I guess I was annoying her because back then I was a stupid kid. Like I honestly can't blame her for stop talking to me. Hope she's not watching this video because that's gonna be embarrassing. But I'm like, honestly, for her, I can't blame her for stop talking to me. I guess I was pretty annoying because I basically wanted to talk to her like every second. Like I know the second like I saw her name pop up on my phone, I responded immediately. And if you're watching this video and you're a dude, do not do that because that's going to make you look very desperate. The girl's going to be thinking you have no life. That's pretty sure what she was thinking when I was messaging her. Like I said there, when I was messaging her. Yeah, me and her, we only messaged for like 4 days, and then it was like after that, it was basically like we didn't know each other at all. I'm like, that really hurt for like a week or two, especially since my parents found out. And then it's like after that, I guess I was like over it because it's like I knew I was at fault. I knew afterward I sent her an apology message. She probably blocked me anyway, so she probably didn't see it. But I sent an apology message. That was the last message I ever sent. I deleted her number off my phone and everything because I was like, I have to move on. And so basically that was it for that experience. Moving on another month after that, I found another girl who I had a crush on. Although the thing is, like, she was just, I don't even know why I had a crush on her. Like, I guess she was alright. Like, she wasn't like the most beautiful girl, but at the same time, she wasn't ugly. So maybe I was just like looking for a girl to be into because I had no one else to be into at the time. And so the thing is, like, I literally knew nothing about this girl. I didn't know her personality. I didn't know what she acted like. I honestly didn't even know what she sounded like. I didn't even know her voice. So it was like there was a lot of things I didn't know about her at the time. And then during second semester, I did probably the dumbest thing a dude can do for a girl that he had a crush on. So the thing is, I had a friend who kept pressuring me over and over again, like, hey, talk to her. Talk to her, talk to her, call her cute, whatever. And it's like, I don't know why the heck I did. I actually did it. Like, I just came up to her out of nowhere while she was walking to her car. And then I was like, hey, my voice cracked really hard too when I said that. I was like, hey, you look cute. Can you give me your number? And we can maybe talk over the weekends and stuff. And then she was just like, nah. Honestly, even though that was probably the rudest thing you could say to a dude, I can't blame her. Because honestly, after that, I was surprisingly not even hurt. You guys are probably not going to understand this at all, but like I was actually even happier than ever after she rejected me. Which is probably the weirdest thing I've had. I don't know, maybe it was because I never really knew her, or I never realized I was never really interested in her after talking to her. Like later, after that, after she rejected me, I realized that like, what was I into this girl for? Because like afterward, it's like I actually learned about her, and you know, she was like, yeah, probably the biggest attitude out of any girl I've ever met in my life. And then on top of that, it's like she wasn't even like drop dead gorgeous or anything. She wasn't that pretty. Not that I'm looking into looks, honestly. I'm like, after all, my first date was with a girl who wasn't really super attractive or anything, and I still enjoy that. But then it's like, at the same time, it's like, why was I into this girl? I'm like, she would look okay, but like, other than that, it was like, there's nothing else to really like about her. Moving on 2 years after that, because that didn't really last long at all. I found this girl, this was kind of more of a blind date from a friend that I met while I was still working at Chick-fil-A. Because I remember working at Chick-fil-A, there was this one girl who I think I said this story actually before. How that girl, she kept staring at me and I thought she like, yeah, in my Chick-fil-A video. She kept staring at me and everything, and I thought she liked me. Now don't get me wrong, she's not the girl who I dated. Because apparently she already had a boyfriend. I didn't like her. I was about to say I didn't like him. No, he was cool. I met his boyfriend. I met her, I was about to say her girlfriend. I met her boyfriend, and he was a really cool dude. Like, first off, he was probably the first black dude that that was a very weird way to say that. Yeah, I guess I'm black myself, so it's not really racist. He was the first black dude who I actually talked to in my life that I actually enjoyed talking to. He wasn't like one of those dudes who's like, oh, what's up, dog? Or how you doing, homie? Or anything. No, he was like, actually like me. Like, he wasn't, that's probably the most stereotypical thing I've ever said in a video. But the thing is, he was just like me. He was into music, he was into video games. And then it's like on the first day that we started talking, we were nonstop talking about the new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie that came out like 2 months ago from when you're watching this video right now. And it's like, he was a really cool dude, and it was only on the first day that I met him. And I only met him because of the fact that I became friends with the girl who I worked at Chick-fil-A with. And so the thing is, like, the girl who I was working with at Chick-fil-A, she was like, oh my gosh, you're so nice and sweet. You remind me of my boyfriend. How do you not have a girlfriend yet? And then it's like, from that, I don't even know how, from that conversation, it went to her talking about, hey, let me introduce you to a friend that I have who's single, and she's just around your age range. And from there, I was like, all right, why not? Because she was saying everything that I liked about the girl. The girl was into music. The girl, I mean, like, again, I'm like, she was at least shorter than me. I don't like, what am I talking about? I'm not really that interested in girls who are taller than me. Not that anything's wrong with that. It's just, it feels kind of awkward for me to be a dude who's older than you, and then it's like you're taller than me for some reason. But again, that's genetic, so it's like, I don't blame that on them. I'm like, you just gotta understand, like, that's just how it's gonna feel for guys. Like, it's not that they don't like you. It's just, it's gonna feel weird, if you know what that means. But anyway, moving on, the girl that I work at Chick-fil-A with, she introduced me, like, not in person, over the phone. We were both texting each other back and forth with the friend that I worked with at Chick-fil-A. And the girl that she was introducing me to was messaging her, so we were kind of doing a three-way type of messaging thing, if that makes sense at all. And it's like from there, then me and the girl, we exchanged numbers, and we kept texting overnight and everything. It was like we messaged a lot, and there was a lot of flirting in that thing. Honestly, after meeting her, I never realized how much of a flirter I am, because I've never flirted with a girl before like that. Like, oh my god, like I had so much flirt game going on in that messaging. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. The thing is, like, me and her, we planned, I started the initiative because I just felt like as a dude, I should start it off. Especially since it was a blind date, because it would just feel weird for a girl who's younger than me to start it. So yeah, me and her, we planned on a date. I think it was the week after we started messaging that we planned a date to hang out and actually meet each other in person. Because our first date was the first time we ever met. And honestly, that was probably the most awkward thing that I've ever done in my life. There was nothing wrong with it. I still enjoyed my first date. Like, that was my first date. That was a memorable moment for me. I'm never gonna forget that. But the thing is, was like, we had no conversation. Like, yeah, we were both into music and everything. I tried to make a conversation off that. But the thing is, I never realized that we were into different types of music. Like me, I'm more voice crack. Me, I was more into like action music. Music that gets your blood pumping and everything. Her, she was more into, I don't even know what type of music it was, but whatever it wasn't interesting to me. And then it's like, other than that, we did things that we weren't even supposed to do on it. Because the thing is, it was her first date too. She never had a boyfriend. I never had a girlfriend. She's never been on a date. I've never been on a date. It was really awkward for the both of us. But at the same time, it was really enjoyable for both of us because we both had a really good laugh at it. But I remember, I think it was like 3-4 days after, no, definitely not 3-4 days. Like a week after that, we both talked about it and we were like, okay, this isn't gonna work out. Because the thing is, we had too many awkward silences because there was nothing about the two of us that we could find interesting to be dating anymore. And the thing that really sucks is that I was really getting well with her family. And honestly, there's not a lot of families where you can get together and then it's like you're both, I mean, like, you're all cool with each other. Not like the dad trying to kill me for dating his daughter, or the brothers trying to scare me and whatnot for being into their sister. And it was like, that was really surprising, especially since it was my first date. So it was like, it sucked. But at the same time, it was understandable. We never clicked. So it was like, not saying she was bad. She was not a bad person. She was really enjoyable. I'm going to be happy for her, for whoever she ends up with later on in the future. But for now, it wasn't going to work out. Now, moving on to the girl that I had the biggest crush out of any girl that I've ever met in my life. And it was even funnier because we've known each other for years and I never realized that she was into me as well. Honestly, she was into me way before I was even into her. Well, way before I even noticed her, honestly. Gosh dang it. I noticed her, but it was like I never really tried to know about her, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because the thing is, we've known each other for, let's see, it's whenever I started going to church. Hold up. Okay, so the thing is, we've known each other ever since we started going to this church together. And I think that was like 6-7 years from now. Because I still go to that church right now, and we still go to the church together. But the thing is, there was this girl that I go to church with, who I'm still going with right now, by the way, that I realized later on, like, she was actually like really into me. Because like the thing is, I remember it was literally one day, it was really ironic for the reason, not ironic, it's so funny because of the reason that we actually started talking to each other. So the thing is, voice crack. So the thing is, everyone at the church had a social media except for me. So then I felt kind of left out. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and make a Facebook account, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I made all of those accounts. I started friending everyone from the church, and then it was like one day when I actually messaged her, I messaged her. I like did a wave thing on Facebook, and then it was like, it took her like 2 months to respond to that. So then it was like, after that, I like made a joke about it, like, oh, thanks for responding like 2 months after I waved you. And then it was like, after that, I was like really surprised because it was like, we talked so much. Like, I really never realized how into me she was until that day. And it was funny because the only thing that it took was for me to make a Facebook account. And it's funny how making a Facebook account did that much, because we talked literally every day after that. There was not a single day that went by where we didn't talk to each other. And it's like, the thing is, like, after talking to her, I felt like she was a really amazing person. She was like the perfect girl for anybody. And the craziest thing was, she was a girl who was dreaming to be an FBI agent, who also became a manager before she was even 18 at a fast food restaurant. Which was like, that was a big achievement. And it was like, how can a girl that is this amazing be into me? Somebody who's literally a nobody to everybody in the world. And then the thing is, she actually told me herself, like, oh, like, I saw a lot of potential in you. And at the same time, it was like, I don't know, I think she said she was into quiet guys. Or, not quiet guys, that's not the word. She was really into shy guys, so I was like, oh, well, I'm shy, so yeah, after that day, we started talking every single day. We were making jokes, we were joking around with each other. And it was like, after a week of talking to each other, she admitted her feelings, that she had it for me. Like how she actually planned on having something more than a friendship. She didn't want to lead me on and everything, even though she kind of did. Because after talking, it was like, I realized that, like, wow, this girl is perfect. And then it's like, after that, I was really like, wow, this girl is really cute. This girl is beautiful. She's got big dreams that she's already achieving right now. And it was like, this girl is amazing. Like, how is this girl into me out of all people? And I know I'm talking about that. I know that I'm talking about, like, how amazing of a person she is. But it really didn't work out in the end. There was nothing wrong with her at all. There's no flaw. There was, like, basically no flaw in her for me. But the thing is, we had zero conversation. Like, we messaged a lot, and the reason why that is because messaging is easy. You can easily text somebody and, like, not feel like awkward or anything about it. And then it was like one day when I decided, like, hey, let's call each other and talk. And it was like, we had no conversation at all. The whole thing was so awkward because there was literally nothing but silence until I said something. And it was like, I can't have this with a girl that I'm into. Like, I know there's a thing called awkward silence, but if you are literally not going to say anything until I say something, it's like, that's ridiculous. Like, you gotta start a conversation at least once. I had to start every single conversation with her whenever we talked in person. And it got so awkward up to the point where it was like, okay, this girl's not gonna be it for me. So yeah, after that, we never went on a single date. I did ask her out to prom, even though that was awkward too. It was still enjoyable because we danced a lot. We took a few pictures. I took her out to a ranch. I took her out to a restaurant, and then after that, we stopped talking because it was so awkward for me that I just could not do it anymore. The thing is, after that, that was basically it. We were still cool with each other. There was nothing wrong with each other. There was no conflict or anything. But after a while, we just had to stop talking. I just couldn't do it anymore. And then moving on to the last girl that I was into, and boy, are you going to be surprised at the reason that we stopped talking. So the thing is, 2 weeks after prom, I remember there was this one girl that started working at Chick-fil-A. Surprisingly, again, it was another girl from Chick-fil-A that I started talking to. The thing is, she was into me like the second she saw me. And it's like, I never noticed it. I was dumb to not realize how this girl can be into me. So the thing is, every single chance that she had to talk to me, she talked to me. Like, we started talking about everything together. We started talking about college. We started talking about exactly what our dream jobs are going to be. We started talking about exactly what schools we go to. And surprisingly, she went to the same school that my cousin goes to. I didn't tell my cousin anything about it because I knew my cousin was going to go off on her about talking to me. She's done that before. So it was like, I definitely was not going to tell my cousin about it. And I definitely didn't tell her about my cousin because I didn't want her going to my cousin about anything. Because again, my cousin's going to go off on her if she says anything about me. But the thing is, I knew what school she went to. I knew exactly what she was achieving. She was smarter than me, by the way. So that felt pretty inferior of me. That sucked. But other than that, she told me that she was dreaming of becoming, I think it was a doctor or a nurse. It was one of those two. I think she said she dreamed of becoming a nurse later on in the future because she does love children. She loved helping people and everything. So I was like, okay, this girl's high achieving. She's going to college. She's literally half a year younger than me. She's shorter than me. Long black silky hair. And she was pretty cute, so it worked out. And I kid you not, a week after talking to her, we went on a date. And the funny thing is, it wasn't even an intentional date. It literally just happened. So the thing is, we went to watch the new Avengers Infinity War movie that came out last year. And so the thing is, like, during watching that movie, she was doing so many things. Like, one thing for certain, we were both sharing popcorn. She was leaning her head all on my shoulder during, like, the entire movie. And it was like, I felt like, wow, okay, this is pretty cute. I've never had a girl who has ever wanted to do that on me before. I don't think that was a very good way to word that out. I've never had a girl that's done that before, like, ever. So it was really surprising to me the fact that she was leaning her head on my shoulder during the entire movie. And the thing is, I actually really enjoyed it. Like, I wasn't really into her like that, but then it was like, at the same time, it was like, wow, am I surprisingly, like, actually into this girl? Because, like, the thing is, like, a little while after I actually, like, leaned my head like this on her head as she was leaning on me. So it was like, that just felt pretty cute to me. I know after the movie ended, like, we were talking so much about the movie, and then on top of that, past Marvel movies, because the thing is, she was a really she was a big Marvel fan, and it was like, I was like, wow, this girl's amazing. Like, this girl is literally perfect for any guy. If you meet a girl who's into Marvel movies, she's the girl. Like, that's for certain. So yeah, after the movie, we started talking a lot about Marvel movies, about the ending, because we were pissed at the ending. Like, that ending was stupid. But at the same time, it was interesting for what's going to happen in the upcoming Marvel movie. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So the thing is, after that, we went to a pizza restaurant that was, like, right across the street from the theater. And then from there, like, we started ordering our food. We were making jokes about exactly what we ate. Because the thing is, I ate pizza with pineapple. I know not a lot of people like that. I love it. She was joking on me, joking about me, about how I liked it. And then it's like, the second her food comes out, she gets some spaghetti. And she probably did the most black thing that a black person would do. And she put hot sauce on her spaghetti. And then I'm just like, what are you doing? And then she's like, adding hot sauce. And then it's like, that's a... Like, oh my god, like, I know people made jokes about that, but I was like, I didn't think that was a real thing. I was like, black people actually do this? And then it's like a while after I realized, like, wow, that actually makes sense. I put hot sauce in red beans. I put hot sauce in noodles. It's like, heck, I put hot sauce basically everything. I never realized, like that was an actual black thing. So yeah, then it's like, after that, a little while after, she asked me a weird question, like, okay, like, I might be asking something awkward, but can I just say it? And I was like, I'm just that kind of guy who, like, really, like, I won't really take offense to anything. I won't think you're weird or anything if you ask a weird question. It's like, just go ahead. And if she was like, do you mind calling this a date? And I just froze, like, did she really just ask that? Like, wow. Like, she actually wanted it to be a date, and then it was like like, after she asked me that, I realized that, like, wow, that really actually was a date. Like, I was just surprised, especially since the fact that she wanted to call it one. So after that, like, I was like, yeah, it was a date. Like, why not? Like, it definitely wasn't just hanging out. Like, we both enjoyed being with each other, everything, so we both agreed that it was a date. And then after that, we started dating. Not for long, though. I mean, like, our dates, we were really enjoyable. We both had a lot of conversation between each other. But then it was like a while after, it was like, I don't know, we had some, like, I remember our second date, I actually just went to her house. And we both started watching movies, we both started talking and everything. Maybe even sometimes about work. And then she wanted to go to some concert or something. And then it's like, after that, it was like, I don't know. I don't even know what happened. Well, I do know what happened. I just don't know why it happened. So then a while after that, like, I'd probably say a few days after that, we both started talking less and less and less. And then it was up to the point where we just stopped talking at all. Like, especially at work. Like, every time we passed each other, we just didn't say anything. I don't even know why. We just didn't. And then it's like a while after, I'd probably say like 2 months after, wait, 2 months? No, we were dating for 2 months, never mind. Like 2 weeks after that, we just both decided, like, hey, let's just be friends, because it's not gonna work out. And it was funny because it was on the exact same day that I was gonna ask her to be friends, can we just be friends? But she came to me saying, like, hey, let's just be friends, okay? We're both cool with each other. I have no problem with her. I'm not mad at her or anything. Until the reason that she actually left me. So the thing is, she told me that she went to another guy. And the funny thing is, her relationship with that guy only lasted for a week. A solid week. And it was like literally the second she leaves him, she tries to come back to me. And then I was like, oh, so you're one of those type of girls who literally leave a guy for a week after dating him and then try to come back to me. Like, no, like I'm nobody's second choice. I don't even care if you were the only girl for me to be into at this point. I'm not gonna be with a girl who's gonna choose me as a second choice over another guy, especially when she was already dating me. Like, that's messed up. But anyway, I'm like, she apologized for it, saying like, hey, it was a dumb idea of me to just leave you for a week and then try to come back. No, she didn't say that. She did apologize for leaving me though, like out of the blue, out of nowhere. But then I was like, it's fine. Even though it did hurt a little for like maybe 2 days or so. It was understandable, especially since I was about to ask her like, hey, let's be friends anyway. So it was like, it worked out in the end. But anyway, it was like after that, I was like, no, I'm not dating this girl again. Like, I'm not doing that again. Like, come on, you're gonna leave me for a week and then try to come back to me like as if that never happened? Like, no. Like, we could be friends at the most. Like, I'm surprised I even forgave her for that. So I'm like, there was nothing wrong with her. She's not a bad person. Don't try to think that in the comment section or anything. She wasn't a bad person. She's still good. We're both cool. We don't talk anymore, but I'm not mad at her anymore. So it was like that's the past. So it was like, it doesn't matter anymore. But yeah, anyway, that's basically my experience with every crush that I've had. Well, not every single crush, but the important ones that I had. The important girls that the important crushes that I wanted to talk about in this video. That was basically all of them from, I think I started with freshman year, I think. So my girl from the girl that I was into during my freshman year of high school up to the point where I started dating the girl during my senior year of high school. And it was like, at least more than half of them were actually enjoyable. But anyway, that was basically it that I had to say for this video. I think I went completely off topic. Like, I was supposed to talk about my experience with my crushes. It is like I went from talking about experience with my crushes to dating. It's like, I don't even know how I ended up that, but hey, that's a video. But hey, if you had a similar experience, you can go ahead and put that down in the comment section below. Did you ever have any awkward experience with a crush, or did you actually like did you have your first date with somebody or anything? Whatever it is, you can put that down in the comment section below. But anyway, that's about it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next week.